Okay, AI. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about AI and its function or uses in cybersecurity. So you see, AI is on the rise. AI is here to stay. So many people are taking advantage of AI. Like, I've done a lot using AI, so I know the power of AI or to what extent you can actually use it and how helpful it is. But like every piece of technology, there are advantages and there are disadvantages. In this particular video, we're going to focus on 10 uses of AI for the cybersecurity industry. Number one, AI can identify unknown threats. The AI is designed to pinpoint like different patterns, different behaviors, different trends, and based on the specific, how can I say, like the way that you program it to look for specific patterns, it will pull up that information and it will automatically decide if it's a threat or if it is nothing important, like it's something trivial, nothing to worry about. So that's one of the first function of AI, that it can identify unknown threats. You might have heard, on the news or on the internet, where they talk about the 0-day exploit. 0-day means that it's a day when threat actors exploit a vulnerability that wasn't previously known. So it's an unknown vulnerability in a software, in a system, in web apps, applications, whatever. And threat actors have a day when they decide that they're going to exploit that vulnerability because it wasn't previously known. So that's one use of AI. So in that sense, AI is very helpful because it allows us to detect things that as humans we wouldn't be able to detect as quickly as AI, because we would have to check through hundreds of thousands of databases before we could actually come to that particular conclusion that there's a pattern, there's a trend, there's a sequence, and that something is wrong. On the contrary, AI can do that and it makes our job easier. The second use of AI is that it can process a lot of data and really fast. So, computer has helped us to process a lot of data, big data. We have programs like SQL or Linux or different things like that. We can search for information just by giving the computer a simple line of command. But in the world that we live in today, there's so much information. It's like we're being bombarded by a lot of information on a daily basis. There's so much that we have to analyze and search through. It's crazy. So this is where AI comes in, like to take away a little bit of the exhaustion, like to give us a little break. AI is very helpful in that aspect because it processes a lot of information that sometimes it's like a brain killer for us as humans. Number three, AI learns over time. So just imagine, like, if AI is constantly learning, why is it that we humans, we just want to learn something and just stop there? Like AI, they're constantly feeding you with information. They're teaching it. I don't know if you guys have seen the video that I posted from this guy where they were explaining like Gemini, from, I think it's from Google or Microsoft. I'm not even sure. I don't remember. But it can, like, you draw something and it will tell you what it is, or it's being, jovial, it's making jokes. So AI is learning. Just imagine AI like at this phase, it's a baby that is like, sucking in a lot of information, and they're growing and they're improving. So it's the same thing that happens to AI. It's in the baby phase, but it's growing. It's constantly growing. So there are a lot of room for creativity, a lot of room for opportunity also. So I think we just have to look at AI from the perspective that yes, it could be helpful to our lives, to our businesses. It could help us to improve our own creativity because there's so many people that they can write a book just by asking AI different prompts. Or you can get a lot of ideas if you're in content creation from AI. So there are a lot of opportunities out there using AI. As I mentioned before, there are advantages and disadvantages, so we also have to be careful. Also, we will check a few afterwards. But yes, so AI is learning over time. So this means that every day it's going to improve, and this will just make it much more qualified to help us in the cybersecurity industry. Just to put it like that. Number four, better vulnerability management. You see, AI can identify weak points in a system that we normally couldn't, even though there are softwares that actually do the same job, like to identify threats, to identify patterns and different things. But just imagine incorporating AI. It makes the software that we already have more powerful to say and much more efficient, just to put it in other words. Number five, it's better security. Yes and no in this sense because, okay, so the same way that we can use AI for our benefit, threat actors are also using AI for their benefit. So, with the use of AI to create malware, to create different phishing scams or social engineering attacks and all those things, AI also makes it easy for threat actors. So, the same way that we can use AI on the good side, threat actors are also using it on the bad side. So, it's like half and half here when it comes to better security. Not so sure. Repetitive tasks, like when you talk about Python or SQL, these softwares, sorry, are there to do tasks that are repetitive or um, like manual or a lot of physical, like let's say database, you have to be adding a lot of information manually. So what this does is that you're more likely to make a mistake, you're more likely to get bored or tired, and a lot of consequences come after that. So imagine now using AI to do all those boring repetitive tasks. It will improve the efficiency of our work because it's least likely that AI would make the same mistakes that we would make. After 5 hours of doing the same task over and over, we get bored, we get distracted. So AI makes all of that much more, much simpler to put it. The next, number seven, is faster to detection and response. Yes, definitely. AI is way faster than us as humans to detect different threats. So this is for sure. Like if it is set up the right way correctly to monitor different systems, network, servers, endpoints, etc., it will do its job. Like it's definitely going to detect and respond to these events or incidents before we can actually blink. Like it's really fast. So that's also another cool benefit of AI in cybersecurity. Number eight is security authentication. Um, I mean, it's good because even though nowadays we have like different software that does authentication. It makes sure it verifies to make sure that you are the person you say you are before giving you access to your account. But I think that the same way that AI is powerful, it also has its own weaknesses that we might discover later, but most likely threat actors will exploit these vulnerabilities that AI also has. So, security authentication, it could be good, but I still think that we need the human factor in this phase just to like double check after the work of the AI is done, just to make sure, because as humans we can pick up on certain sense, maybe emotions, different trigger feelings that I think AI doesn't have that we do. So I think the human element is still important in this phase of security authentication. That's just my opinion. Maybe I could be wrong. Okay. Number 9, reduce manual tasks. I think this is also like from the previous one. Yes. Instead of typing like for hours, 100-page document or whatever, you can actually like talk to AI and they will do the typing. Um, yeah, the AI is making it so easy for a lot of different tasks. So, I mean, this one is basically repetitive, so we're gonna skip this one and go over to 10. And this one is interesting, the bot war. So, you know that over 50% of the traffic on the internet is from bots, not from real people. So AI could help us with this bot war because AI would be most likely to detect when a traffic is actually a bot and it's not a real person. So, I mean, it's very, very helpful. But I also think like it's just like you cannot be on one side, because the same way that AI will be, you can use AI to detect that okay, this traffic is from a bot. But I think the same way AI is being used to create, these bot traffic on the internet. So it's like half and half. I am having mixed feelings about this one, but yes. So these are just a few benefits of AI. I'll dig a little bit deeper to find what are other benefits of AI regarding cybersecurity. But yes, don't be afraid of learning about AI. I think it's very interesting, especially for people who enjoy speaking other languages, because remember, AI is like a baby. And the most important, well, one of the most important thing that a baby needs is like good communication skill. So the same thing happens with AI. We have to feed it with the right information. We have to train it. We have to prepare it and watch it grow up so to see where it goes. So we will have to wait to see the result, but don't be afraid of it. Learn about it, learn about technology, because the direction of this world is towards technology. And if you're afraid of it and you're like, oh, I'm not going to use AI because this is from the devil and people say a lot of crazy things, don't worry. I mean, just look at it from the viewpoint that that's where the world is going, and probably if you don't learn about it, you will be left in the past. And nobody wants to be like, you reach to a point where you're not important or you're not essential anymore because all these technology, you don't know how to use them. So just learn. Like, it doesn't really cost you anything but time and probably a little bit of memory space in your brain. So just learn about it. You never know where this knowledge could take you in the future. So thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.